Welcome to the Burnstar Editor Beginners tutorial. In this video, I'll show you how to build a basic level in Burnstar. When you first open the editor, you will be presented with a simple blank level. This level has a bare minimum needed to run a Burnstar level. On the left, you can see the in-level star. This will go wherever you want the player to finish the level at. Generally, this is placed in the easy-to-reach area, but not in the middle of the gameplay areas. We usually want the player to be able to get this without having to 100% the level. So it needs to generally be accessible. Above the in-level star, we can see the world spawn and the sunlight. We're going to ignore these for now. The light blue arrows are the player spawns. There's a spawn for player 1 and player 2. We can see which was which by selecting one of them and opening the object inspector window by pressing I. This brings up the inspector window, where you can adjust the individual properties of each object you have selected. Here we can see which player spawn we have selected by the name property in the key pairs section on the window. You can see it says player 2 spawn here, select this one, and it says player 1 spawn here. You can deselect everything by pressing the escape key. To move around the world space, there are a set of simple camera controls. Pressing and holding the left mouse button will allow you to pan your camera around. Pressing and holding the right mouse button allows you to look up and down, or left and right. Pressing and holding both mouse buttons allows you to move the camera up and down. Scrolling the mouse wheel allows you to move forward and backwards. The most important camera feature is the game view mode. Pressing V, as in vaporize, will toggle the camera from a freeform mode to a game view mode that simulates what the in-game camera will show the player. You can only pan in this mode, but I find it the easiest to design in this mode, as you know about approximately what the player will be seeing. Now on to building a level. Here we will use another window that should appear off the right of your main editor window. It should be labeled Level Editor, and we will have 3 tabs at the top that say Editor, Filters, and Game. Below that, you will see the map name and the Save, Save As, and Load buttons. Remember to save your work often. Below these buttons, you will see 3 more tabs for Entities, Pathable, and Models. Entities are the game objects we will be placing into the level, such as burnable crates and bombs. Pathables are the tiles that Burnstar can walk on, so these will be your floors. Models are the art pieces used to decorate the map. We need some floor space for Burnstar to walk on, so let's select the Pathable tab. Under the Dev tiles, select the 3x3 Dev tile. Then click and drag from here to the editor window to create a new Dev 3x3 tile. We can also quickly create objects in the scene that already exist there by selecting them and pressing the Control and an arrow key, like so. You can move objects around that are selected by pressing and holding the left mouse button while on top of them and dragging around, or by using the arrow keys to nudge the object. Let's create a large play space now. Let's move the player spawns off to the side. Get them out of the way so we can make more room for the puzzle. Alright, let's build a simple puzzle. Select the Entities tab, and then under Block at the top, select Block Crate Large. Click and drag out from this window into the editor window to place this large block. Let's do the same for the medium crate and also for the small one. Now, let's create some more of these using the Control and arrow key to copy them around. Let's make a pretty straightforward, simple puzzle for Burnstar to solve. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now we have a really simple puzzle, but we have no way for Burnstar to actually burn these objects. Let's select the Entities tab, and then scroll down until we see Pickups. It may be easy just to collapse your block window here, and then click Pickups. And now select Pickups Exploder. This is your generic bomb that you'll see in the game. Click this, drag it out, and place it in the level. Now we have a basic map. Now that we have a basic map, playing the game from the editor is really simple. All you need to do is click on the editor window and press Ctrl-Shift-R, as in roast. The game should load, and now you can play your map. So we can grab this bomb, place it on the ground, and see a chain reaction go off. the bomb will set off those crates there, and then those will ignite the other ones. The end level star is automatically set to be available when 70% of the map is burned, so we don't have to change any properties on that guy. We can just move him to wherever we want in the editor. Let's go back to the editor using Control-Shift-E, which as in electrify, and we can just pop back to the editor. And you can go back and forth between the editor and the game just like that, super fast. Alright, so one of the first things that you can see when we were playing that was missing is the stars that you collect. So these have to be placed manually, and they can be found by clicking on the Entities tab, and then under Entities, so in the Entities tab, Entities, there is a star spawner. Click and drag these out onto the game board, and then we'll just control copy these around. They're going to look like floating stars in the editor, but they'll appear underground in the game. Because remember, only explosions can free these from the ground. So we got to place them near red or orange crates, or where the player is going to place a bomb. So for now, let's place a few of these around. Sort of match the, just put them all around these explosive objects. Alright, so now we have a scene full of stars. So now we can actually Control-Shift-R again. Go ahead and place our bomb, and we should see the stars appear after the explosion. Now we'll wait for these guys to go off and pick up those stars. Now we can just use Control-Shift-E to go back to the editor. And it looks pretty good. Alright, so let's finish this puzzle up. Let's finish this puzzle up by adding a couple of new elements. First off, let's make a really simple circuit system. We will make this with a fireball launcher powered by a floor switch. We will use this to let the player clear some breakables so he can access a new area. First, we find the fireball launcher. So let's collapse block here under the Entities tab, go down the hazard, and then it's going to be hazard fireball launcher. So click and drag this out onto the screen, and now you can see that it's facing a weird direction. So a quick way to rotate an object is by using the page up and page down keys. So we can rotate one way and we can rotate the other way. So let's make him face that direction. Now that we have the launcher placed, let us put a floor switch in to control it. Let's find the floor switch under the Entities tab, and then block at the top, and then it's going to be block floor switch. And we'll click this and drag it out. So we're going to put this right in front of the fireball launcher so that when the player steps on this, they're going to have to dodge the fireball. So now we need to connect these two together because they don't actually know about each other right now. And to do that, we're going to use the circuit system. So under the Entities tab again, under block at the top, you'll see block circuit. So click and drag one of these out, and then use the control arrow keys to copy this around. So now these two are linked. The game will automatically know that when we run that switch controls that fireball launcher. So now let's go ahead and get rid of this star. That's simple. Select the star and press delete. That'll get rid of objects in the scene. So now let's run the game and see how it looks. So press Control-Shift-R to enter the game, and now we can stand on the switch, dodge the fireball. Alright, so that looks like it works. So let's press Control-Shift-E to go back to the editor so we can make some more changes. Alright, let's give the fireball launcher something to hit. Under the Entities tab, block, and then breakable. So right here at the top, drag one of these out, and let's just put it right here for now. So now we need a new area for this breakable to reveal. So let's go to Pathable, and then under the Dev Tile section, let's drag out a 1x1 and then a 3x3. Now let's go ahead and select the breakable, and then use the arrow keys to move it over one. So that means this fireball launcher is now in line to hit that breakable. Now let's make this a little more interesting, so let's grab the bomb we already placed earlier, and we'll move it over. So now to actually get the bomb, the player's going to have to stand on the switch using the fireball launcher to get it. Alright, let's see how that looks. Press Control-Shift-R to enter the game, stand on the switch, sets off the fireball launcher, hits the breakable, and gains us access to the bomb. So now we can solve the puzzle. Alright, let's go back to the editor, and don't forget to save your level. Remember to save often. And that's the basics of the Burnstar editor. There's so much more we could show you. We've barely scratched the surface of what's there available to work with. There's tons of gameplay elements, and each that has their own list of properties. We can't wait to see what you create with these tools.